This is video number 5 of how I built this Power BI dashboard with topic EV charging stations in Rostock, Germany. In the previous 2 episodes, I gave a little bit of the solution around providing the status for each location, whether the location is open or closed, taking into account a schedule that we have in the dataset and the current date and time. At this point, and after exploring the first 2 functions, this is the result we have. For each of the schedules, we have all of the working days that are part of the range for that particular schedule. So if we have Monday, Thursday, plus Friday, we need to have all of the days that are part of this range. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then additionally add Friday. We also needed to separate the time into 2 columns with the starting hour and the end hour. And now we're going to proceed further with the next steps. First, we're removing the unnecessary columns. And then we're adding a day number. It's a simple conditional column that basically says if the day equals Monday, then put 1. If it's Tuesday, 2. If it's Wednesday, 3. So on and so forth. We're going to use this later on when we have to compare the day of the schedule, this day, to the current date and time. Another thing we need is to do the same for the starting time, for the hour and the minutes. Here what we need to do is convert the time into a decimal number. And that's why we're using this function. So in cases where we have, for instance, now we don't have such an example, but imagine that was 7:15. In that case, we don't need 7:15 as an end result. We need 7.25. So taking the hour and dividing the minutes by 60 achieves that result. Because later on, when we have to compare with the hours and the minutes of the current date and time, this is a format that is going to help us do it much, much easier. So transforming the hour and the minutes into a decimal number. The same I'm doing with the other column, end time. But again, just it's not visible here because we don't have any hour that finishes, let's say, this one. If it was 21:15, 21:30, 21:45, then would have a difference, but all we have is rounded hours. Okay, and this is the step that allows us to see whether a location is open or not. And basically what we're doing here is we're taking the current date and time. This is the current day number because we're going to be comparing this to the actual day number as a column, the one that we set up earlier. And because here, and we're actually adding 1. Why? Because if we have Monday, with this formula here, we're going to get 0. And in our case, we have Monday as 1. So what we need to do is add 1 for each individual day. If we add that, then we're going to have a match. And current hour, the same way we did here, we transform into decimal the current hour from current date and time. And then we say, if the day number from that column equals the day number from the current date and time, the local date and time, and if is within the time range, or the starting hour is smaller or equal to the current hour, and current hour is smaller than the end hour here, then if all of those are met, then we're going to have a true statement, or the status here is currently open will be true. Then with the next step, we're grouping all of that by the separate schedules. Now we don't need anymore all of these rows and columns. Basically checking whether somewhere here we have a true for each of them. So if, let's say, on Wednesday 7 to 16 we had a true, actually here we have a true. So Monday, Friday, if only one for this schedule is true, then the next step, we're returning a status true. Or is it open? Okay, moving on to the next step. With this one, we're basically setting the status. We have a new statement. If our column here is open equals true, then the status is open. If we have not available here, we have not available here. 24/7 is always open, and whatever is false, that goes to closed. Changing the type of the columns and adding another conditional column that I'll be using later to sort the statuses, basically. And that's it with the whole Power Query magic.